You ever just look at someone and feel like the whole world slows down? That was Jason Miller, a perfectly normal high school junior. Not unpopular, but not the guy everyone noticed either. Just there. And every single day, he watched Emma Carter from a distance. She wasn't just beautiful. No, Emma had this way of carrying herself, like the world belonged to her, but she was kind enough to share it. She wasn't mean, wasn't stuck up, just effortlessly. Something more. And Jason? He was just another face in the hallway, another nobody who had been crushing on her since freshman year. And there was one big, glaring, soul-crushing problem. Emma had a boyfriend, Logan Pierce. Tall, confident, the star of the soccer team, the kind of guy who never had to try. Things just happened for him. He had that perfect balance of charm and arrogance, the kind that made guys respect him and girls adore him. Jason knew it was stupid, knew he didn't stand a chance. But still, there was that tiny, ridiculous voice in his head that whispered, maybe. His best friend, Mark, wasn't much help.
Dude, just talk to her.
Mark said, stuffing fries into his mouth like it was that simple. Jason scoffed.
Oh, sure. And say what? Hey, Emma, I've been hopelessly in love with you for 3 years. Too bad you're dating Logan. Want to make a terrible life choice and pick me instead?
Mark rolled his eyes.
Okay, maybe not that, but start small. Confidence isn't something you just wake up with. It's something you build.
Jason hated how that actually made sense. Confidence. It wasn't magic. It wasn't something you either had or didn't. You build it. So that night he made a plan. Nothing crazy, just baby steps. The next morning he did it. One word. One tiny, insignificant, world-ending word. He passed by Emma at her locker, forced his brain to stop overthinking, and said,
Hey.
And then she did something that almost made his heart stop. She turned, met his eyes, and smiled.
Hey, Jason.
Wait, she knew his name? He barely managed to nod before walking away at full speed, but inside, his heart was doing backflips. Step 1, complete. Over the next few weeks, Jason kept at it, small things. A casual good morning here, a quick joke about class there. Nothing big, but something. And slowly, it started feeling normal. Then came the big moment. The library was quiet, the smell of old books and printer ink filling the air. Jason spotted her at a table, frustration all over her face as she scribbled something in her math notebook, then groaned and erased it. This was it. This was his chance. He took a breath, walked over, and somehow managed to keep his voice steady.
Need help?
Emma looked up, surprised, then let out this adorable little sigh of relief.
Oh my God, yes. I suck at this.
For the next hour, Jason walked her through equations, explaining things in a way that made sense, and to his shock, he wasn't nervous. They laughed, talked, and for the first time ever, it didn't feel like he was crushing on some untouchable goddess. It felt like just a guy and a girl. And then, just as they were packing up, she smiled at him and said,
You're really sweet, Jason.
And then she touched his arm. His brain completely gone. His heart demolished. And just as he was about to say something, Logan walked in. Jason felt the shift in the air before Logan even spoke.
Hey, babe,
Logan said, all smooth confidence as he walked over and pulled Emma in for a quick kiss. And just like that, Jason disappeared. Emma turned her attention to Logan, laughing at something he said. And Jason? Jason just stood there, books in hand, like an idiot.
See you around, Jason,
Emma said as they walked off, and then she was gone. That night, Jason sat in his room staring at the ceiling. He wasn't mad at her, wasn't mad at Logan either. It wasn't like he expected anything. But for 1 second, just one, he let himself believe. And maybe that was the real mistake. Mark's words echoed in his head. Confidence isn't something you wake up with, you build it. Jason sighed. Maybe this whole thing wasn't about Emma. Maybe it wasn't about winning her over or making her notice him. Maybe it was about proving to himself that he wasn't just some guy in the background. Maybe it wasn't about her noticing him. Maybe it was about him noticing himself. And with that thought, something inside him shifted. He still liked Emma. Maybe he always would. But for the first time, he wasn't waiting for her to see him, because he was finally learning to see himself. Confidence isn't about impressing someone else. It's about realizing your own worth. Jason thought confidence meant getting Emma's attention, but in the end, the real lesson was that he never needed her validation in the first place. Sometimes, the person you need to prove yourself to the most is you.